republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, the first item is authorization for the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to enact a local law to override the tax levy established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C, enacting a local law entitled "A Local Law to Override the Tax Levy Established in Municipal Section 3C." Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll make the motion. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Second item is a special event that, quite frankly, is not the first time this has happened, but we are able to accommodate, as a courtesy to the councilman and the people in that district that he represents. It's for an event in Sayville. And Councilman Lorenzo, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. It's not on the agenda, but I would like to make a motion. The planning commissioner has reached out. There is a item that we're faced with as a township. It is another unfunded state mandate, but for a program that we have to enact. If we don't comply, there's fines associated with it. I met with the town supervisors yesterday, and there are a number of initiatives that come down to us, some that we can ignore. This is one we really can't. It's just not practical and fiscally prudent for us to do so. But it is a matter of discussion that we had with all of the supervisors, and I just wanted all of you to be aware of it. You know, it's not just us that are struggling with it. The mandates that keep coming down from Albany. It is the reason why, you know, there's a cost associated with it. Unfunded mandate, they tell us to do something but aren't sending us the money to do it. And, you know, it puts us in the dilemma. Every single town is in the position that they have to raise taxes, and almost every single town is piercing the cap, some of them double digits. And there was a lot of discussion about it. It's something that's being discussed also at the Association of Towns, where we are going to be joining together and asking the state to amend some of the rules and regulations they have with the tax cap legislation, because it's not a level playing field. And some of the factors or some of the criteria that we have to adhere to and comply with, school districts don't. Yet the school districts represent 70% of the tax bill, and our portion is de minimis in comparison, yet we're forced to pierce the cap in a greater percentage than the school districts. So, like, it just doesn't make sense. So the Association of Towns has taken it on. They actually passed a resolution, and if I don't miss my guess, it looks like the town supervisors will be coming together and holding a press conference to address this. So maybe we'll get a little bit of relief. All right, having said all that, I would like to ask Ella to come up and explain this. If I could get a motion to waive the rules and consider this resolution. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, the rules are waived. And Ella, if you would briefly explain why this is so time sensitive, and in the Reader's Digest version of why we have to do this.
Just briefly, what are we talking about? It's,
Is there a microphone there?
yes,
Oh, okay.
can you hear me? You move it closer.
Pull it down a little. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so what are we talking about? It is MS4 program, which is Municipal Separate Stormwater System. 2024 general permit added a very detailed set of requirements for the municipal reporting and modified the process and work requirements for each involved department of the town that has to comply with. Planning and development is only one of the departments that has very limited scope in such reporting. But traditionally, planning was compiling all the data and issuing the reports. The Department of Public Works and Parks, Department of Safety, and Department of DEC all have their requirements that they have to comply with. The new rules bringing very complicated ways of reporting and adding a mapping requirements to a lot of tasks that we need to do. Departments have been struggling with having staff to do that, and our permit was effective on January 3rd. It was actually issued on December 13th, but effective from January 3rd. And the reporting period ends on January 3rd of 2025 for this year. All the departments have to do their work during the course of this year. And coming January 3rd, we have to be completed with everything that we have to do within this year. After that, the annual report is going to collect all of that data, and we have 4 months to create a report and issue on April something. I forgot the exact date. I had very many discussions with all the commissioners from different departments, and the conclusion is that we need additional help in order to set up the processes the right way so that the reporting of all the activities that are being performed are done in a way the state requires us to do, and that it's easily collected into the report so that planning can then issue the report. Thus far, planning has already compiled the report. First requirement that was in July 3rd, collected all the data that needed to be done by that date. We actually worked with communications to devote a page for both educational and brochures and training for the population, as well as the place for that report to be publicly listed, known, visible, which is one of the requirements. In DEC requires the whole set of documents to be on set. When they need to take a look at it, it has to be given to them. So throughout the year, we have been working diligently on preparing the best ways, seeing who has what task, what has to be done. We issued an RFP in July. We got 6 replies, of which 1 had to be eliminated because it was too late after deadline. So 5 companies submitted their proposals. Planning organized the meetings with all the department heads, created scoring sheets, went through the scoring and review of all the data, analysis of all the costs, and reached out to references for the chosen consulting team, interviewed the consulting team, and did the additional analysis of costs, which were per department, negotiated the overall cost from $160,000 to $130,000, but taking certain elements from the proposal for engineering to do in-house, and committed to the lowest cost as we could. That contract would be for 2 years, although the permit is for 5. But we identified that we wanted to have all the processes, all the forms, all the stuff to be done within the 2 years, and create templates for the town to be able to not be on the crutches going in the future, but hopefully have everything set up so that we can have the whole 5-year permit ready. So we are encroaching the period of today's October 6th,
Third,
4th,
third,
3rd.
don't push it.
And we could not make the process happen for the previous town board, for the timeline for the previous town board to reach out to you. So our option is either to review this today or wait for the October 22nd, which brings us to November, which might be a wetter month. And all the field work has to be done during the dry weather. So we are kind of stuck in this place, and I tried to reach out and did everything I could to hopefully be able to comply with so that we can comply with the mandate from the state.
Ella, thank you very much, and I appreciate the efforts on behalf of the department to try to whittle down the needs so that we could bring that cost down, that engineering is able to take on some of the reporting requirements. I know that you met with resistance from the other departments. Everybody is stretched, and this is really, really onerous. If anybody, looks at some of the stuff that the state is asking for, it really is crazy. But I think it's realistic to assume that after they've worked on this for 2 years, that they can develop that template so that the departments can, in fact, do what they need to do. And I just want to make sure I understood, because I spoke with you yesterday about this. There are forms that we have to attest to the fact that we are in compliance and that we are doing this and we are giving them that data. So, I mean, we can't misrepresent it.
No.
Because we could be audited. And the last time, according to Sean, we were audited was 2007.
It was a long time ago, might be 7 or 12, but it
Yeah,
was definitely.
but it was a while ago, so we're kind of due.
Yes.
And we certainly don't want to be found not in compliance. So, does anybody have any questions on this?
I just had one question, and you explained this to us in a briefing a while ago. Where are we in that penalty period? What's the drop dead date where we could be facing penalties on this?
So we have to be performing the work that we have to perform. If we are not performing and don't have all the data and reports done, we cannot say that we do. So we will say, no, we don't have that. We might, that's our obligation. If the DEC finds it, flagged, like why aren't these things done because they're not on the report, they can ask us for, hey, what's happening with this? They might fine us, they might not fine us. I don't know the criteria of how they do about their job. I know that what the penalty is per violation is $37,500 per day.
So are we already potentially in violation, or is
I
like
don't
December
know.
that date?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay.
First of all, we still have a period of time until the end of this year to complete all the work and all the reporting and compile the reports for the annual report due in April. I do not know what other departments are doing. I hope everybody is on task. However, they definitely do not have the reporting system that's easily in the shape and form it has to be. So that's why we need outside help
So we're approving this to get that
to get that.
path.
I would imagine, if I could, I would imagine that if we were to be approached or audited or questioned, the very fact that we are taking an action like this and being very deliberative about it, calling a special meeting, that we brought in a consultant to, make sure that we were in compliance would go a long way to staving off any
No, and
kind
I
of
understand. I was
penalties.
just curious, are we already kind of past the point, or is there a deadline of the end of the year?
It
Just
seems like
yeah.
that
Deadline is the end of the
January
year, but then
25.
there are certain deadlines that are 6-month period, 1-year period, there is a 3-year period, 5-year period is the whole permit.
Understood.
So there are different tasks by different departments that have to be done at different times of the year. What we did was scrape through the requirements and try to push everything front-loaded so that we can utilize the consultant the best way, that it's stretching for the duration of the benefit is stretching the life of the permit. But it's,
And then the consultant will work with each of our departments.
they have to work with each of the
that-
departments. They will do a quality review. They will see what the departments have and how are they doing it, what are the processes that have to be improved, what are the processes that are missing and that have to be included. And they will, what the requirement that I put in the RFP was that they need to create a template for the April report so that that template grows as the time goes and we can use it.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion? Councilman Lorenzo, okay. Motion by Councilman Lorenzo,
Second?
second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ella. I know this wasn't something that you were looking to do. There is no other business to come before us. Motion to adjourn, second by Councilman
Second.
Lorenzo. All in favor of adjourning. Thank you very much for making yourselves available today.